Not in great shape. Never been a good defender. Looks a little soft. 1 for 9 last night on shooting threes. And everybody sort of hedges their bet. We've all been doing this, myself included, for the last 2 years. We've all been doing this in the media. We just don't want to say, is LeBron like the second best player in the league? Nobody wants to say that, right? It's, hey, Jokic, Giannis. I have watched LeBron in the last week outplay Ant Edwards, Luka, Jokic, and Kyrie Irving. He has been the best player in the NBA in the last week. On every single night, is LeBron the best player in the league? No. On any given night, is LeBron the best player in the league? Yeah. His defense right now, it looks like he's 27. It's insane. His energy, better than Luka. His shooting right now, better than Luka. His on-ball defense, his scoring. LeBron at 40 years old has better consistent energy than any other Laker. Now, Austin Reeves is close. Austin plays hard all the time. But LeBron's fourth quarter energy, it doesn't even make sense. His on-ball defense right now, this is the best defense he's played in 8 years. He's a better defender at 40 than Luka is at 26. His energy, I'm telling you right now, is LeBron showing off? And I'll get to Steph in a second. It feels like Steph is kind of showing off to Jimmy Butler like, listen, old man, And I feel when Tom Brady beat Mahomes at Arrowhead Stadium in the AFC Championship, and then he beat him in the Super Bowl, everybody by then was falling in love and sort of was saying it, like, Brady's old. Brady, not a lot left in the tank for old Tommy. Mahomes is the new king. And Brady beat him twice, in Arrowhead in overtime and in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady reminding you, yeah, it goes through me. And LeBron is reminding everybody right now, yeah, the West, for 10 years, the East went through me. 10, 12 years, however long he was over there. Now the West is going to go through me. So at minimum, and I understand that Luka got hurt, hadn't played for a long time. He's playing himself back into shape. Like, I get it. And he'll be a better shooter. His jumper right now is short consistently. That's like cardio. That's legs. His jumper's short. But at 40 years old, LeBron James last year at 39 years old, LeBron had 84 dunks. When Michael Jordan was 39, MJ had 21. 4 times the dunks of a guy known for dunks, Michael Jordan, at the same age. And I think LeBron this year is better than LeBron last year. And the other thing is, because AD was traded to Dallas, LeBron is hyper aware that he has to play better defense because Luka is a lousy defensive player. And Austin Reeves is limited. So LeBron is like, oh, you need me to do that too. All right. His defense is insane. So he's averaging 25, 8, and 9. That's not the part that's blowing me away. It's the energy and the defense. And, I feel like, and I've said this for years, I think the NBA playoffs should be a 3-game first round and then 5 games even through the finals. I think create urgency. I mean, March Madness, college basketball doesn't have much talent, and it gets tremendous ratings. Why? There's urgency. I mean, Cooper Flagg, take him off Duke. They got a couple of decent players. But a Duke game with Cooper Flagg against Xavier will get a better rating maybe than like the Western Conference or Eastern Conference finals, because it's like you have to watch. You got 2.5 hours. Somebody's out. Could be Duke and Cooper Flagg. And so I think there needs to be no more urgency. And I also think in the NBA regular season, I'd cut it down to 68 games, start it 6 weeks later, get away from college and pro football. Start playing Christmas. Start playing Christmas. Not your first TV game. Start playing then. So I understand that if you're LeBron, you're Steph Curry, and you're not with a championship team, you're on a treadmill to nowhere. It is so clear between Steph and LeBron that these moves have absolutely energized these guys. And just watch LeBron's defense. It is elite, and he has outplayed Ant, Luka, Kyrie, and Jokic in the last week. He has been the best player on the floor. And here's LeBron after.
We know we could have been a lot better offensively, but we've been hanging our hat on the defensive end, and when you don't shoot the ball well, you got to be able to get stops. And they made a run. They're a really good team. We saw what they did a couple nights ago against OKC when they was down big, and those young guys came in, sparked them, gave them good energy. So, they cut it down to 3, I believe, at one point, but we was able to execute after that, get some timely stops, and was able to come on with the win.
So LeBron in February, 29.5 points, 10 rebounds, 7.5 assists, shooting 55% from the floor, 46% on three-pointers, and playing elite on-ball defense. At 40. At 39, he had 84 dunks. At 39, MJ had 21. Like, you're watching, this is unprecedented. We're always looking ahead. Don't. Just live in this moment. What you're watching doesn't make any sense. It's Brady in Tampa. It makes no sense that Brady was that year first, second best quarterback in the league. All right, so I want to give you an update. This according to Diana Rossini. The Rams are meeting with Matt Stafford at their facility in person today regarding the future. So the Raiders and the Giants, and I think the Raiders are in play here, have discussed a 2-year contract that includes 90 to 100 million guaranteed. And a decision is expected soon. So I was thinking about this. I think if it's only 2 years and the Raiders are not giving you a third, then I would stay with the Rams. If the Rams can get you to 75, 80, 85, I would take that over 100 on a 2-year deal if they're both offering 2 years. Raiders go to a third year, $45 million, no state tax, I'd probably consider that. But it's really interesting. And what I'm about to say you'll think it's ridiculous initially, but just think about this. The Rams are not far off from winning a Super Bowl. They're really close. They were driving to beat Philly in a snowstorm. And that defense got better every other week. And they're all coming back, and they're super talented. So you're not going to score a lot of points on the Rams going forward. If they get a corner in the draft with the first pick or second, they don't have a hole. That defense is good everywhere and young and cheap. If Matt Stafford stays and wins a second Super Bowl, and I know legacies are all about ego, but if you put 15, 20, 25 years into being a politician, a talk show host, a quarterback, a landscaper, legacies matter. You want to be remembered fondly, not just as a husband and as a dad, but what did you do professionally in your community? If he wins a second Super Bowl, that's the same as Elway, Peyton Manning, and Big Ben. But it's more than Aaron Rodgers, Steve Young, and Favre. And I've said this for years. Matt Stafford was better in high school than Aaron Rodgers, much better in college, better his first 4 years in the NFL, and much better now in his last 3. Now, there were 10 years where he was in dysfunctional Detroit and put up a lot of stats, but didn't get much to the playoffs and do much. And meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers was in Green Bay, highly functional, great draft and develop organization, good coaching, and had a better middle of 10 years. But if you had to put Aaron in Detroit and Matt in Green Bay, I think he has more than one ring. But my take is legacy matters. If Stafford wins a second Super Bowl, that means he would go 4-0 in the playoffs in the Super Bowl. He would have more rings than Aaron. He'd have a better playoff percentage than Aaron. He would be better late than Aaron, better early than Aaron, as a former number 1 pick. There's a real argument. You'd take Matt Stafford. More Super Bowls? I mean, Super Bowls alone are going to get Eli Manning eventually into the Hall of Fame, and he was an average regular season quarterback. How a movie ends and how a quarterback's career ends absolutely shapes how we think of you. When Brady went to Tampa and won, 50% of you watching and listening for years, and I saw it on Twitter, it's a system quarterback. He left New England, won. Belichick regressed. Brady is unquestionably the GOAT. Beat Mahomes last 2 times they played. He is head and shoulders above the crowd. John Elway, never